Hi, I'm Nikki.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is America's Asses, a gal cast. Hey! 2 weeks in a row!
We finally got the hang of it.
See, but my problem is because I want to enunciate my name, because sometimes I feel like when I say I'm Alyssa, it comes out like I'm Melissa.
I see.
Enunciate that's not my name. That's like the only problem, and then I can't talk. So if I over enunciated.
Are you nervous?
Not really.
No, good.
Not anymore.
Good.
So no, I always get nervous when it's my episode.
Me too.
Hardcore sweat.
Well, I was earlier because I was like, oh shit. I did my voice into text recap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, crap, I didn't go through it. And then I'm rereading it and I'm like, wait, what the hell did I say? Because it picks up, my lisp and other stuff. And I'm like, wait, what
did that mean?
Right. It comes up vision, FISSION instead of vision. I'm like, what the hell? I did control whatever to look up all the
find and replace.
Yeah, the find and replace to find all of vision.
Oh, you millennials and your computer tricks. What the hell's that? Control what?
You do Control F so you can find things in your document, and you can say you want to find.
You don't know any of the computer shortcuts? Oh my gosh, God. They're so easy.
No, I go through everything. That's why it takes me so freaking long.
Oh, girl.
All right, Alyssa, what do you got for us, lady?
All right, episode 5. So they show the recap of episode 4. We open to the twins crying, and now the house looks completely different again on the inside.
Ayo!
What?
I have a tidbit off. Wait, first of all, I would like to say that welcome to America's Asses. We are an MCU-centric podcast by women for everybody. Right, ladies?
Totally.
I keep forgetting to say that. So, we have it in 2 episodes. We've actually explained that.
I think you did last week's episode.
You did last
I remember.
Week, yeah.
I don't know.
The first one and this one.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have a tidbit right off the bat from the recap.
Okay.
So when the audience sees the episode 4 scenes in which Wanda tells Vision that Geraldine left, the version differs from the one that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Wanda telling Vision that Geraldine had to rush home, as they did in episode 4, the sequence has Wanda informing him, quote, "She's gone. She doesn't belong here." And I'm like, Now, was that sloppy editing or was that intentional, and why?
Everything means something.
Yes.
All right.
We've come to just realize that everything means something.
Right. But yeah, I only have a handful of tidbits this week because I was lazy.
Oh,
well, I felt like there wasn't a whole lot. There were some good ones, but there was not groundbreaking.
No mic
brilliance.
Right.
Yeah.
This episode was definitely a bridge to move it along.
We're getting to hopefully some answers.
Hopefully. But you know what? Let me tell you, all the episodes are very important from here on out.
Oh, absolutely.
Every single episode is monumental.
So Wanda and Vision are trying to get the babies to stop crying, and they want them to go to sleep because they haven't been sleeping. When Vision goes to get their binkies, Wanda tries to put the babies to sleep with her magic, but it doesn't work. And she goes to them, "Why aren't you doing what I want you to do?" She just kind of goes nonchalantly, why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Why isn't this working? So just as they mention that they need help, Agnes walks through the door in a very 80s workout outfit, and Vision has to disguise himself to turn into the human version of himself.
Behind a pillow.
Yeah, so discreet.
Fluffing this pillow with my face. I love the house, by the way. Can I just say?
It looks like Family Ties.
I used to love that show. And I don't know if you guys remember that. When I was in grammar school, we had to have book covers. You used to make book covers out of like paper bags, like brown paper bags from the grocery store.
Yep.
Well, Tiger Beat, towards the end of summer, would have book covers in the center instead of posters. And I had an Alex P. Keaton, i.e. Michael J. Fax, book cover all
That's
of second
awesome.
grade. I am telling you, all of second grade.
Awesome.
I loved me some Alex P. Keaton, Marty McFly. I was all about Michael J. Fox growing up. Again, back to our theory, little guys were just so attractive to us.
Yes.
Seriously.
Love the Family Ties house. If I could have a dream kitchen, it would be the Family Ties kitchen.
Oh,
like
yeah.
today,
That was
even.
awesome.
Well, I felt like this episode was not only Family Ties, but the picnic scene in the beginning is like a Full House scene.
Oh, God,
Yes.
yeah.
So like they were
Yes.
definitely ushering in the 90s in this episode.
What was that? Remember TGIF on NBC?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, ABC.
Was it ABC?
Yeah.
And what was that one with Suzanne Summers and Duffy?
Step by step.
Step by step.
I love that. Step by step. Day by
Day by day.
That's what some of their
references
interactions reminded me of that.
Uh-huh.
You know, I do have a tidbit about Agnes when you get more.
What about
into it.
Agnes? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Agnes says that she could hear the babies crying outside and thought she could help. Vision gets nervous of the babies and keeps asking Agnes questions like all new parents. Did you wash your hands? You need to hold their heads, etc.
Wash your hands. Here's some hand sanitizer. Wash your hands again.
Make sure, you got that in there nice in between your fingers.
Yeah. Let it dry before you start touching things.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden, Agnes goes to Wanda a little flustered and says, "Do you want me to take that again from the top?" And Wanda looks at her and Vision all confused, and they just kind of laugh it off awkwardly. So Vision talks to Wanda on the side and questions her about what just happened, and Wanda keeps playing it off like nothing is going on, and Agnes is just being neighborly, according to Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
So
is she?
Yeah. I don't know. Then the crying stops and they go to look in the bassinets and the babies aren't there.
Before you go any further, I gotta give you my Agnes tidbit here.
Oh, because I have a tidbit too.
You go first.
No,
I went
you.
first last week. No, I went first last
No.
week.
I
No.
insist.
No, I insist. Okay. So Agnes, we all know, and I'm sure by the time we publish this, everybody's going to know. When episode 5 aired, there was talks that Agnes was really,
Agatha Harkness.
thank you, Agatha Harkness.
You're welcome.
And, me and names, I don't remember them. I only remember faces. So when she goes, "Oh, let Auntie Agnes take care of the kids." Well, Agatha Harkness, she was introduced in the comics as Auntie Agatha because she was a nanny or babysitter for Franklin Richards. And who is Franklin Richards, you ask? Reed Richards and Sue Storm's kid.
Oh.
Yes. From the Fantastic Four. So that's how she was introduced in the comics, is that she also happened to be a witch, and she's a very intricate piece of Wanda's puzzle.
Auntie Agatha. Oh. Did you have something different?
No, it was the same.
We're of the same brain. I
Sure
swear,
are.
ladies, this is why we work. This is why we work so well.
I know, I love it.
So we see the babies are now toddlers and they're talking. And Agnes says, "Kids, you can't control them no matter how hard you try." And is totally unfazed how the boys just aged like 3 years in the matter of seconds. Like,
Blink of an eye.
that happens. That's normal. Okay.
So my question, was it them doing it, or was it Wanda wishing they were because she was so Like, I've been there. I know how it is when you have two kids screaming at the top of their lungs at the same time, even one kid screaming at the top of their lungs. It gets stressful. You get tired. You're done. So maybe it was Wanda. Do you think it was Wanda making them older so they just shut up?
I didn't, but now that you're saying that.
See, I think it goes back to what I had said from episode 4. Maybe it was episode 3. I don't remember, about how her pregnancy mirrored the comics where everything was just sped up in super speed. I just figured like this was the same, the next session that it was happening. Like they went from babies to toddlers. So
maybe
it could be both.
I don't know. We're totally honest when we say we haven't read the comics yet.
Right.
Although we got them. All three of us got the complete series. So we're hitting the books.
We are.
Yep.
We are. We get to the opening and it's very Family Ties like with the painting, like we mentioned. Then there's a song and it says, "You wonder the world with a vision of what life could be." Interesting.
Very interesting.
They show baby Wanda and a baby Vision. And even though we know he was never a kid, similar to the Growing Pains intro, then we see them running around with
Wait,
boys.
I got a question about baby Vision.
What?
Did you see those pictures? I seriously want to know if baby Vision were really just Paul Bettany pictures and they just put a Vision face on the baby on his face.
That would be hysterical.
That would be awesome.
Are those really Paul Bettany's baby pictures, but they just kind of painted the Vision
I don't know. Or just did it on some random baby.
I don't know. Because those are definitely Elizabeth Olsen's pictures. You can tell. Right. Those are her. And the boys.
Yeah.
You can tell. Yeah.
And then there is a weird, or there's not like weird, but there's a picture of her war-torn Sokovia. And she's just kind of like all cheering, happy on the side of the road. Like, wee!
Yeah, like, I noticed that. I wrote that one down. I was like, yeah, that's a little odd.
Yeah. You're a little too cheery for that.
Right. In the middle of a war zone. Like, yes.
Exactly. And like we mentioned before, we see them running with the boys and having a picnic outside, like full house. So an ode to Elizabeth Olsen being the Olsen twin sister. So we open up to Hayward questioning Monica about the first thing she remembers after being sucked into the hex, and she said it was pain. She heard Wanda's voice in her head and couldn't resist the feeling of hopelessness, like she was drowning. It was grief. Then they do scans and tests on her, and they come back saying they need to redo them because there's nothing on them. Like they show the iPad with the results, and it's completely blank. So, is there something wrong with the machine? Or
no. I'll answer that. No. It's Monica.
Yep.
It's Photon, baby.
It is. But there's a briefing, and Monica said, well, we're done here. I need to go to this briefing. Hayward is calling this the Westview anomaly.
I hate him.
I know. He's the worst.
He says...
What a douche.
Such a douche.
Ugh.
He says they thought Wanda was a victim, but now she's the victimizer.
Well, she
Jimmy is briefing. Jimmy's briefing everybody about Wanda's history, and Hayward asks him if she has an alias, like one of a weird name or anything like that, and they respond, none that we know of. And like I mentioned before, no one has specifically ever called her the Scarlet Witch in any of the MCU movies or the series so far.
So when I asked that question, I, for some reason, did not remember this scene because I had already seen this episode when we recorded last week. I'm rewatching this tonight during, the twins and I, we rewatch WandaVision every Thursday, the episode we're going to be covering.
Same.
we were eating dinner because Mr. Big was working tonight. So whenever Mr. Big is working, I just make some frozen pizzas and we just watch WandaVision on Thursdays. And so we're sitting there and I'm like, well, I completely missed this. I completely missed this.
No, the first time I saw this, I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? She doesn't have a weird name. I was like, she's the Scarlet Witch. And then I'm reading stuff and looking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they never really officially called her that.
I also got to give props to Jimmy Woo for taking Hayward down a few pegs.
Yes.
You know?
Somebody needs to.
Jimmy Woo is a little awkward and a little funny, but man,
hey, he's a little nerdy.
He's a little, but man, again, love those nerds.
Yep.
But he really, defended what he was saying, where Hayward was just trying to manipulate all the information to make it sound like she's
to fit his agenda.
Yes.
Right. Which is, so he keeps referring to Wanda and starts out with her history of being with Hydra, but doesn't talk about how she became an Avenger and did good. He just forces on the negative and keeps calling her a terrorist. Monica comes to her defense and says she isn't a terrorist, and Darcy calls him a dick, which I totally agree with. I love that. She just sort of like, what a dick. Oh, Darcy.
She's so matter of fact about it. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
She's just like so like nonchalant, like, what a dick.
Yep.
She's a scientist. They're all like that.
Yeah.
They're very matter of fact, and they ask a lot of questions.
Yes, they do. So Monica doesn't believe that she has a political agenda, and Hayward believes she is holding thousands of people hostage, but Monica doesn't believe it's as an act of aggression. Hayward then shows everybody that Wanda broke into SWORD headquarters right after Tony's funeral and stole Vision's body and resurrected him. Hayward mentions that it was Vision's last request that nobody use him or his body as a weapon. And Hayward thinks that Wanda is doing just that. So my tidbit is, I know, what a douche.
I mean, did you hear my eye roll? I bet
Yes,
you
I did.
heard my eye roll.
I totally did. I totally did. Didn't you? I heard it. So my tidbit is that the footage of Wanda stealing Vision's body was supposed to be an Endgame post-credit scene, but got deleted or cut.
I'm glad they did, though, honestly. I'm glad it wasn't a post-credit scene there. Like, I felt like...
it makes more sense now. If we saw it then, we'd be totally confused. And since they didn't have any post-credits after Endgame, besides just you hearing the arc reactor... But yeah, I think we would totally be confused.
Yeah.
It just fits so well here.
Yes.
It does. It does. I agree. Was that your tidbit, Nikki?
Yes. Again, like, this is why we're friends.
Yes.
Right. I feel like all of our tidbits this episode are going to be the same. Like I said, there is like, not that I've noticed, no mic drop moments in this episode.
This is my last tidbit. To be honest, I gave up halfway through looking for more tidbits because dropped her pizza on the floor and then there was hair on it and it was a big debacle. So yeah. So, but go ahead.
Sorry, there's not that many more tidbits.
No, there's not.
No. So back to the sitcom. The twins are in the kitchen next to a sink full of Bubbles, saying that they need to clean him so mommy will let them keep him. They are referring to a puppy.
Sparky.
The puppy in the sink doesn't have any tags, and the boys beg Wanda to keep him. Vision comes in and asks who the puppy is, and Vision is in his human form because he has a feeling somebody is going to pop over. Done. Of course, Agnes comes over with exactly the items that they need for their new pet because she saw through the kitchen window that they had a new puppy. Stalker much?
Yeah, right.
Like, who just like keeps looking at your neighbor's windows?
Seriously, get some curtains.
So they name the puppy Sparky, as Jamie said, and Wanda conjures up a collar with the dog's tags, and she does it right in front of Agnes. And Vision questions, like, why did she do that? Wanda says that she's tired of hiding her abilities, and Agnes doesn't seem to notice, so she's just going to roll with it. Like, okay. Vision mentions that they're usually on the same page, but now they're not, and he questions what she isn't telling him. And they decide, since the boys are 5, they don't think they should be able to, they won't be able to take care of a dog until at least they're 10 years old. So the boys look at each other, and Wanda is like, no. And all of a sudden they're age 10. So the boys turn 10, and Agnes just says, hope the dog stays the same size, but doesn't mention how, once again, the boys just aged 5 years in 2 seconds. Now we're back at the compound, and Monica's going over all the things that she needs to get back into the hex, like a 1,000-pound bunker in the shape of a tank and all this other stuff. And like, it's no problem. And she says she knows a aerospace engineer who would be up to the task. And would that be one Mr. Reed Richards, I hope?
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Just because I like Johnny.
This is one of those Easter eggs that we're not going to get an answer to for years.
Hopefully it introduces it as something. But so we know Monica's determined to go back into the hex, even though the things that Wanda put her through. She says that everything in the hex is real, even though it doesn't look like it from the outside, including the twins, that they really are her twins.
Yeah.
They talk about if Wanda's doing all this, that she has to constantly yield the same amount of power. And Monica is talking with Jimmy and Darcy, and they mention that she could have gotten to Thanos if he didn't snap his fingers. And Jimmy mentions Captain Marvel could have as well. And Monica just has this weird look on her face. And Darcy mentions that Captain Marvel also got her powers from an Infinity Stone, like Wanda, that we know. And Monica just changes the subject from Captain Marvel back to Wanda.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What Infinity Stone did Captain Marvel get her powers from? I do not know. And I claim to be a Captain Marvel fan.
Isn't it? It's the Tesseract.
Yes. But what stone was in the Tesseract? The Mind Stone?
No.
No, the Mind Stone was in the
Loki's
scepter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it the
I don't know.
Space? No.
I don't. All right, questions for
bit.
I'm
clarity.
blanking on that. I know it, but I'm blanking on it right now.
Okay. I'll put it in my questions for clarity. I should have just looked it up, but I just thought about it now.
I don't
Let
know.
me see. Let's look. Let's do the Googler. Here's for your Googler minute.
Because she does. I mean, she does say, didn't she also get it from an Infinity Stone?
Infinity Stone, known as the Space Stone.
What did you say?
For the Space
Stone. Space Stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he just mumbled.
See? So he knows his shit.
Space Stone?
Didn't I say it was a Space Stone?
I think you did.
You did.
I think you did.
I wasn't sure, but
You sure did. Thank you, Little Big. I love you.
Thank you.
I say thank you, Little Big. He went like this.
He loves us. All right.
So Monica has an idea and goes to see the clothes that she came out of the hex in, and realizes that they are mostly made out of Kevlar, because when she went in, she was wearing a Kevlar vest. And she says it's not an illusion. Wanda is rewriting reality permanently. So she then brings up sending in something that doesn't need to be changed.
Did you see how easy it was for them to go to where her clothes are? It was like through a hallway into like a tent Like there was no security. You think coming out of that hexagon that you would have that shit locked up? I mean,
like armed guards.
yes. No, they're like, oh,
while they're testing everything.
They're like, do. Hey, Jimmy, can I see that thing? And
Sure.
then pow. Like,
right, and then just automatically
around.
comes out and just shoots it.
Nobody's around.
I love how she just pulls his gun and he's like, okay, we're just gonna take
it just means they trust each other.
holster. Yeah, okay.
The amount of trust there is real.
Yeah. So now we're back in Westview, and Vision is at work with Norm, and everyone is fascinated with the new computers. And it makes me wonder how excited people were to get new office computers when they first came out. I mean, I remember when we got our first computer and I was 8. And that was just because it was my brother's, but
Right.
I wasn't allowed to use it.
Yeah.
But sending, the first email. So Norm gets an email and he's questioning Vision about, this electronic mail and you need a letter opener to open it. Haha. Where's the postage stamp go? And he gets an email and it's from Sword and it's a top secret communication authenticate. It says Darcy Lewis's findings regarding Maximoff anomaly. High levels of radiation present at perimeter effect and Westview residents unknown. Please advise. Everyone else gets the email and they're all reading it aloud at the same time and they're laughing.
Advise. That's how they sounded.
They did.
Robots.
And they all think it's a joke, and Vision uses his powers on the computer to make it go away and then uses his powers on Norm's head. Norm starts freaking out and wants Vision to help him, saying he has an elderly father who is sick and his sister who needs him. He doesn't know how long it's been and needs to call his sister. He says that Vision needs to stop her. She's in my head. None of this is my own and it hurts so much. Just then, he just wants it to stop. Vision uses his powers and Norm gets back to, air quotes, himself. Mm-hmm. So now we're back at the residence and the boys are so proud that they taught Sparky new tricks and they want to show their dad. Wanda says that he's at work, but the boys say it's Saturday. Why is he at work? It's Saturday. And Wanda's like, oh no, it's Monday. And they say, no, it's Saturday. This morning was Saturday. She said, oh, their dad just needs a distraction. And the boys get sad because they think the distraction is from them.
No, the distraction is because motherfuckers catching on.
Right. He's figuring things out. He knows too much.
Yeah.
But then Wanda explains that their parents are not on the same page, but family is forever. Then they ask if she has a brother, and she says yes, but he's far away from here, and it makes her sad. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Sparky starts barking, and Wanda goes outside with the boys to see a drone coming in, and we know Monica is controlling the 80s style drone with Hayward looking over her shoulder, but the drone isn't visible.
Such a fucking douche.
But the drone isn't visible on the broadcast that we could see. So Monica goes over the microphone saying that she just wants to help. And in the drone video, we see Wanda's eyes turn red looking at the screen. And all of a sudden, Monica's controls aren't working. And Hayward says, take the shot. Monica says, I don't think that the drone was armed, but apparently it was. And she yells at Hayward for it. And alarms start going off and everybody runs outside. And we see that the hex is blue. And Wanda comes out of the hex carrying the drone and throws it at Hayward's feet. She tells them to stay out of her home in her Sokovian accent.
I know.
See, I knew it was there somewhere.
You were so right.
Because I wanted to know where it went.
We still don't know why it comes and goes.
No.
We still don't know.
No, we do not. Hopefully we find out.
Theory.
Yeah.
Just thought of this. maybe because she's making all these episodes, she's talking like the characters that she's playing.
Oh.
And when
Yeah,
she's
she's
really,
definitely playing a part.
Yeah.
yeah, she's playing a
Getting
part.
more like her American family. Like,
Yeah. Because, you know, Laura Petrie did not have a Sokovian accent.
No.
You know?
Nope.
Elise Keaton did not have a Sokovian accent.
No, but when she comes outside of the hex, she's able to be herself and not
Yep.
play that role. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yes. Maybe that's the reason. Who knows? I don't know.
Could be.
Just a theory. We'll figure it out eventually.
She said, if you don't bother me, I won't bother you. Monica tells her that on some level, she knew that she was an ally because she's a telepath and knows that Monica didn't mean her any harm, and asks Wanda what she wants. And she says she has everything and no one will ever take it from her again.
Oh.
Wanda uses her powers to brainwash the armed guards that are pointing guns at her and point the guns to Hayward.
They should have just done it.
I wish.
I know.
He goes back to the hex, and then we see the hex turn red, the outside of it.
Yeah, because it's absorbing her energy.
Right.
Right?
Commercial time.
Oh. I can't wait to hear what you guys have on this.
This was a long way until getting a commercial.
Yeah.
Right? I know there's only like 10 or 15 more minutes left after the commercial.
Right. It's not halfway through the episode, that's for sure. And we see the same mom with her two kids at the kitchen table, and one of them spilled juice, and the ad is
juice.
the red
Blood
juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a brand of paper towel. I wrote toilet paper. Just reading this. It's for paper towel called Lagos, the most absorbent paper towel available. For when you make a mess you didn't mean to, which we know Lagos is where Scarlet Witch went with Captain America, Widow, and Falcon in Civil War and accidentally blew up a building.
Oops, I killed a bunch of people.
Right.
Oops, my bad.
But she didn't mean to do it.
I don't know.
But this goes back to, when you accidentally do stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's paper towels to clean it up.
Yeah. Like the death of thousands of people.
Nah.
Which ultimately led to the Sokovian Accords.
Exactly.
Right.
So I just thought of something. It was red juice and they're trying to like sop it up. So maybe that's the blood that she shed.
Yes, so that was one of the theories I was reading. That
it was?
mom,
Really?
Mhm.
I gave up
Yeah.
at this point. I
Yeah,
stopped
it was,
looking up at this point.
Yes, it was one of the theories that was said that it could be Wanda feeling as though she had the blood on her hands after everything that happened in Lagos.
Wow. All right. Okay.
Look at you. Didn't
I
even
ha-
research that.
Didn't even
I have
research
that.
this.
I looked it up. I had that on my notes.
You
too.
did? See?
I did.
That's good.
So we're back in 80s Westview, and the boys and Wanda are looking for Sparky, who ran away when they opened the door, obviously. And the mailman reassures the boys that their mom won't let them get too far. Okay. Then we see wrestling in the bushes, and Agnes is holding a dead Sparky wrapped up in a blanket and says that he got into her azalea bushes. The boys are obviously upset, and Wanda tells them not to age themselves up. Tommy says that she can fix anything and she can fix the dead. And Wanda's clearly taken aback by that. And Agnes says, "You could do that?" She goes to Wanda, "You could do that?" And Wanda says that there are rules in life and we can't reverse death. And just then, Vision's coming back from work and asks the boys who they want Wanda to bring back. And he notices the dogs and consoles the boys. And later that night, Wanda and Vision are talking in the kitchen, where Vision brings up that he talked to Norm and unearthed his suppressed personality. He tells her that he was in pain, and Wanda just blows it all off. Vision asked if she wants to watch TV and turn in the night so she could change everything over again, like she's been doing every night before.
Yeah.
And he said she can't control him the way she controls everyone else.
Oh,
And she says, can't I?
oh
And-
man.
You wanna bet?
Test me.
Yeah, you wanna bet? Let's see. The music starts playing and the credits start rolling, but Vision keeps talking over it and wants to know what the Maximoff anomaly is.
Yeah.
He wants to believe that everything was subconscious at first and she just became aware of what was going on, and she just keeps blowing him off. They continue arguing and Vision turns into himself. He wants Wanda to just stop lying to him, but she doesn't know what he's talking about, or so she says. They both elevate like they're gonna fight, but in the air. And she says that she's doing all of this for them and to let her handle it. He keeps questioning what is outside of Westview, and she says he doesn't want to know, but he says she doesn't get to make that choice for him. You want to bet? She says he never talked to her like this before, and he says, before what? I don't remember anything before Westview, and he's scared because he doesn't know who he is. She tells him that he is her husband and the boy's father, and that should be enough. He then brings
this
up...
makes so much freaking sense right now.
Right.
It didn't at the time, but it does now.
Yeah.
We will find out.
Yes.
Yes.
He brings up that why aren't there any children in Westview? And
where are the
children?
children?
And she says that there are. And he said, no, when I walk past the playground every morning, there's no kids there. She asked him, do you really think that I'm controlling everything? That she is somehow in charge of everybody in Westview? She doesn't know how any of this started in the first place.
Okay.
And Vision starts to tell her what she's doing is wrong, and the doorbell rings. She tells Vision that she didn't do that, and he doesn't believe her because she goes, I didn't do that.
She looked really sincere. Like,
Yeah, she looks surprised.
first of all, the last 5 minutes of this episode had some of the most fantastic acting I have ever seen in the MCU. It was so raw and believable.
Yeah,
and
it was genuine.
It was so genuine.
Absolutely.
Their acting was just so phenomenal. So phenomenal. But yeah, she looked completely shocked when she heard the doorbell.
Absolutely. She's like, I seriously did not do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't believe
She's
her.
starting to lose control is what she's doing.
Right. So she opens the door and we go back to the compound because the alarms are going off again. And Darcy runs to the television and we see Vision asking who it is. Then we see the back of a gray-haired man. Okay, I swear I thought this was Old Cap and I started literally freaking out.
You weren't the only one. I thought
was
it was
seriously
going to be
like,
Old
oh my
Cap
God.
too.
Oh my God. Because it was, his hair was kind of, nice and wasn't crazy. And
right.
I honestly thought that. And brother number 2 was like, yeah, because you just want Old Cap to show up. That's the only reason.
Secretly, who doesn't?
Well, exactly.
Right.
But I was really freaking out. And then we see the guy come in and he says, long lost bro gets to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what? And we find out that it's Pietro.
But which
But not the one we were
Peter.
expecting.
Not the Marvel Pietro. It's Peter from the X-Men.
X-Men.
Which Disney just got the rights to.
So Darcy questions, she recast her brother?
Right.
So Wanda and Pietro hug, and she looks really shocked and kind of happy, sad that he's there and confused.
Right.
And he goes, who's this popsicle? And then the episode ends.
It was a good recap. Excellent
Thank
work.
you.
Excellent work.
Thank you.
Excellent
Thank
work.
you.
I have zero questions for clarity. I mean, is that because we finished watching the series? That's what I'm worried about.
Probably.
Well, we
Ralph?
still don't know. You know what? We still don't know who
Ralph is. And
Ralph
who the
is.
person is.
We don't know who Ralph the person is, if he is a person. We still don't know who
Jimmy's missing person.
Jimmy's missing person. That's really gonna piss everybody off because nobody knows. No. And I looked into Reddit and here, you know what? I'll go through my clarified questions for clarity. Yeah, nothing got clarified from our questions last week.
No.
None of them. Did Monica really receive her powers during the blip? That's not answered. Personally, I feel she started to get powers and then it was probably exacerbated.
Like awakened within her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. Who is Agent Wu's witness? We still don't know. But there are so many. I started getting a headache and my eyeballs started to, you know, how they throb.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the computer too long. Because there's so many Reddit theories on who Agent Wu's witness is. Some of them are wacky cuckoo Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, and some of them really make some sense, but I'm not even touching it because
you just go down a rabbit hole.
You go down a rabbit hole, and I'm done. I'm done going down that rabbit hole.
Right.
I can live without knowing for now. Eventually, they will reveal it when the time is right.
Because everything means something.
Right. Is everyone in the Hex part of the blip?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on it. There are no theories on that. Reddit didn't even, because you know that's my go-to for fan fiction and theories and stuff. So
I love it.
I couldn't find it, but that's it. Like we had no answers from our questions from last week. And this week, do you have any questions for clarity this week?
No.
Neither do I.
No.
Neither do I. Like
I just had like tidbits.
Right.
You have two tidbits.
Well, and that's okay because you know this episode was just to push the series forward.
I think we got more answers than questions.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
So, Liz, you said you had tidbits. Are the tidbits the ones you already said, or do you have extra tidbits?
I just have two little extra
All right.
tidbits.
Lay it on
Go
me.
for it.
Well, we noticed that Billy always wears red and Tommy wears green.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, kind of reflective of their powers that we find out that they have later.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I don't know if this is a tidbit, but I read that in the comics, Sparky was able to come back to life with the help of Tony Stark.
What?
Yeah.
You mean
That's
like
what I read.
Oh no. Do you guys watch Futurama? It's like one of my favorite shows.
No.
I've referenced Futurama so many times already. It's like one of my all-time favorite shows. There's an episode where Fry finds his dog from like 3,000 years ago and it was mummified and he had the opportunity to have him cloned. And it's the saddest episode. And that just reminded me of that.
Oh.
It is the saddest, most beautiful episode. Oh.
Yeah. I only have like two more additional tidbits. One goes back to that scene with Sparky. Vision is trying to calm Billy down and he reads Charles Darwin's The Descent of Man, which essentially is about evolution. And throughout the episode, Billy and Tommy are literally evolving and growing up.
Yeah, that's good.
In the blink of an eye.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
A good one. Yeah.
Did Wanda
Wanda
do it or did they do it?
Yeah. I mean,
I like it. That's probably our only question.
Probably.
See, when they were 5, though, we see them look at each other and, like, you know, they have the silent
maybe both
communication. Yeah, being like, all right, let's just age up together then.
Okay. Did Wanda age the twins? All right.
And then one last little tidbit. When Jimmy was running through Wanda's history,
Mhm.
you know, how he was doing like the background of her,
Mhm.
you can see that there's the number 113 when they pull up the news footage of the Sokovian attacks.
Okay.
And 113 is a reference to Avengers comic issue 113, which features Wanda and Vision on the cover, and Wanda saying that she's going to make the world pay for Vision's death.
Oh.
Ooh.
House
know
of
what-
M. Oh.
You know what also is it's 113A, I think. Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
what's
the-
always in like
That's
all
the
the
Disney
Disney
Easter
movies?
egg. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Disney. They have that in Toy Story.
Oh, because that
and
was
the
their
Pixar
classroom
Yep.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
We had like their design studio or something like
Yeah.
that. It shows up in like Toy Story and so many other movies.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
like,
so I thought that
double
was
meaning to
interesting.
that.
Very good. Yeah. I got nothing. Because pizza fell and then all hell broke loose.
Gonna say I honestly that was it. Like there wasn't that many where I'm like,
No.
yes.
It was still a fantastic episode, though.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Next week, Jamie, you prepared?
No.
It's the Halloween episode next week.
I know.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, it's also like jam packed with everything.
Yeah. Well, then it's the
It's getting even more jam packed than we
Yeah.
thought we already had.
but poor Jamie, man.
Dude, I'm
Final
not okay.
episode. All right. All right, ladies. So that's it. We're done.
Like that wraps this one up.
I think Alyssa, you did a
Wrap it up.
fantastic job.
Thank you. Tie it up with a
You're
bow. I
fan-
think we're good.
All right, ladies. I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
3,000. All right, you ready? All right, let's see if we can do this at a first take. Last week we did it first take. All right. Oh, hold on. I got something.
Liz, are you wearing a full face of makeup?
I know.
No,
Like,
this is what
you
I
look-
always wear.
You are radiant today.
Yeah, like you look fucking flawless.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, girl.
No,
You look.
This is
Take
all
a
day-
selfie. Take a selfie and use that for your Bumble.
You know, I just connected with a guy on Bumble.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Take a picture. Just take a picture. Do it now.
Okay.
Do it. We'll watch you. Take a selfie. No
Like I'm
duck
sitting
lips.
here
look
going like, what the fuck? Like she looks
I like-
She
fantastic.
looks fantastic. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? No, and I like walked the dog for like an hour today. Like all
You
like,
look fantastic.
sweaty and
Well, you don't look
Take a
sweaty.
selfie.
all
No, you
right,
look
whatever. Whatever, ladies.
I'm like, are you sitting here at like 9:00 at night in a full face of makeup?
Maybe because I just put like chapstick on. I don't know.
No,
You
it's
look
more than
great.
chapstick
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, fine. I'll send this to you guys. It actually does look really good.
Yeah. See, you look good.
Told you.
Yeah. All right.
I got my here. This is my my podcasting with I got the microphone in the picture.
You're
Yes.
so cute.
Let me see. Let me see this.
You are freaking adorable.
You look. You better use this in your profile picture. That is a fantastic picture,
Seriously.
Alyssa.
God, you guys are ridiculous. I love you.